Good evening, Belize. It's Tuesday night, and you're tuned into News 5. I'm Sabrina Daly. Here's what we're following tonight. The streets are tense as police brace for possible retaliation following the gangland-style murder of Tyrone May. We'll take a closer look at his criminal past and what this could mean for public safety. Meanwhile, another Belize City resident is behind bars tonight, this time for flashing gang signs. And in the digital world, a social media poll is causing a stir. An overwhelming 92% of respondents say they're not on board with SARA tracking their financial transactions. Plus, it's Culture Tuesday. We're taking you down memory lane with a vibrant look at 50 years of Carnival in Belize. And here's some good news for travelers. Spirit Airlines is landing in Belize with budget-friendly flights to the U.S. All that and more coming up in just 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere. News 5 starts now.
Easy, accessible, safe, yours. Digi Wallet, easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Welcome back. Brothers Tyrone and Ellis May are well-known names in the streets of Belize City. Over the years, they've had numerous run-ins with the law, serving time for and beating several accusations. On August 1st, Belize City was shaken by a brazen act of gun violence when 31-year-old Tyrone May was executed just after 11 a.m. His death comes amid an escalation of violence between feuding groups in Belize City, raising serious concerns about the safety of Belize's streets. News 5's Brittany Gordon files the report.
Gang violence has claimed another life in Belize City. This time, it's 31-year-old Tyrone May. May's name has long been tied to crime headlines. Back in 2012, he and two others were charged with killing BDF soldier James Norales. They beat the case in 2015, but a retrial followed. A witness claimed Norales was targeted for allegedly working with the police, but the judge tossed the testimony as weak and circumstantial. May walked free again and spoke of his relief. But now, years later, his life has ended violently on the same streets that once put him in the spotlight.
The first thing comes to mind that God is good. You know, you can never ever turn a back on God. God is good. You know, 6 years of this, you know, experience is very serious. You know, I got that experience to know you're fighting for your life on the line. You know, it's your life. You know, it's not play. You know, it's a job to them, but you know, it's your life to us.
3 years after the murder case that made headlines, Tyrone May was back in the news, this time for a high-profile home invasion. He was one of 18 people charged for the 2015 burglary at the home of Lebanese Honorary Consul Sarkis Abunera. Guns, liquor, and other valuables were stolen, but the most disturbing part, the diplomat's maid was raped during the break-in, and May was accused of that crime. His mother, Shelley May, publicly defended him, insisting her son wasn't responsible.
Tyrone have alibi witness that Tyrone was home. Rape, this is a serious offense. Rape. Tyrone are not like that. 8 dark-skinned person with mask, how you go identify Tyrone? Me and Shaquille, me and Ellis, me look the same, so why they never carry my son for parade ID. They deny Tyrone is swiping where they do all the rest of man. They deny Tyrone here. Tyrone asked them to take here and to swipe there just like how he swipe the rest. They not swipe Tyrone, none at all.
A DNA sample later identified Paul Jex Jr. as the perpetrator, and he was subsequently charged for the crime. However, just a few years later, brothers Tyrone and Ellis May were both handed charges for being a member of a gang, a charge that the brothers adamantly refuted in court. Their lawyer at the time, Dickie Bradley, argued that the brothers were being targeted.
None of the 3 persons have ever been convicted of anything in the courts of this country. They have been arrested frequently, regularly, but we all know the police are targeting the young men in the city of Belize. We all know that there is a running battle in the streets of Belize between young persons, particularly young black men, some of whom, of course, should be in prison. Let's admit that some of them are not trying to do good, they're trying to do bad. But in this case, we're hoping that what has transpired, the fact that they know they are being targeted, they know that they are being watched, photographed, lies are being told, that their lives are also in danger.
Ellis and Tyrone were acquitted of the charges back in 2023, but not before landing behind bars once again when they were accused of violating bail conditions by missing their scheduled court appearance. The brothers had traveled to Mexico, allegedly to purchase medicine for Ellis's sick daughter. However, they were intercepted by Mexican authorities and handed back over to Belize. Their attorney in this matter, Norman Rodriguez, said that the brothers had not intended to violate their bail conditions.
So there was no evidence. The evidence that the prosecution attempted to bring were photocopies of documents unauthenticated. The only evidence that was elicited in court is that the officer went to Orange Walk, received 2 people from another officer who had brought them from Corozal, but that was, as far as I'm concerned, hearsay because there was no tangible evidence to support that.
While Tyrone May was not wanted for any crimes at the time of his death, police are confident that his murder is gang-related.
Well, we have several theories. We know this one is gang-related with Tyrone May, and we are trying to put the pieces together, but we cannot conclude if they are related.
At this time, no charges have been made in the investigation. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
Tonight, a Belize City man is behind bars after being charged for flashing a gang sign, a gesture authorities say is tied to gang activity. 27-year-old Lyndon Alexander St. Clair, a resident of Logwood Street, was arraigned late this afternoon before Magistrate Ludlow Black. He appeared without legal representation. The charge? Promoting gang-related activity, specifically using a hand signal associated with the Crips gang. The alleged incident happened on July 28th, and investigators say they spotted St. Clair in photos making the gesture. St. Clair pleaded not guilty, but under Belize's Crimes and Control Criminal Justice Act, the offense is serious enough that bail can't be granted at the magistrate's level. Magistrate Black advised him to seek legal help and apply for bail through the High Court, but that process could take up to 90 days. For now, Lyndon St. Clair is on remand at the Belize Central Prison, with his next court date set for September 24th. Coming up, Belize Tax Service transition draws strong public reaction over data privacy. More when we return.
With the introduction of redesigned banknotes, does this affect the value of the Belize dollar? The answer is no. The design of the banknotes does not determine its value. While the new banknotes will look different, their value remains exactly the same. In accordance with the Central Bank Act, the Belize currency is pegged at 2 Belize dollars to $1 US, and that has not changed. Rest assured, whether you are holding one of our current notes or a new one, a dollar is still a dollar. The value of your money remains stable, backed by the strength of our nation's economy. New look, same value. Learn more at www.centralbank.org.bz. A message from the Central Bank of Belize.
This is the new era of the Mexican Caribbean. A whole spectrum of colors and hues, multi-dimensional cuisine, holographic beaches. The true new era is within you.
What's up, bro?
Good, man.
Just Western Union moms a little money using DigiWallet. Uncle in the States, pays me too. Same app. Using DigiWallet. Bro, this is too easy. I can do this from anywhere. No lines, no hassle. Just easy. All right, gotta run, bro. Take it easy.
Shop smart for your Samsung devices in Belize and enjoy benefits you won't get anywhere else. When you shop locally for your Samsung, all your devices will be covered by a 1-year local warranty. You won't get that when shopping with the other guys. When in doubt, always look for the Cellular World seal to know you're getting the real deal. Shop with confidence and enjoy your Galaxy knowing that it can be repaired locally at our Samsung Service Center by certified Samsung technicians using original parts and machinery. Even better, enjoy the best LTE experience in Belize, knowing that your Samsung devices are compatible with major local carrier networks. Get the ultimate Samsung Galaxy experience only when you shop from authorized Samsung resellers nationwide.
miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix Season 7 every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GVM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Belize Media.
Unwrap the joy of crystal clear picture and sound from Aiwa, the brand that offers you affordability and exceptional quality. Aiwa has a wide range of exceptional products to choose from, such as TVs, speakers, headphones, home appliances, and much more at affordable prices that won't break the bank. Enhance your audio-visual entertainment experience with Aiwa, and for your convenience, parts are readily available in country for hassle-free maintenance. You can find Aiwa products at your local electronics store countrywide. Choose Aiwa, the best in home entertainment and household appliances.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp.
Enjoy free social media data now included in our Flex Choice and Select postpaid plans.
Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
It started with a quiet announcement, but now it's got everyone talking, and fast. Just weeks ago, the Belize Tax Service Department revealed plans to become a semi-autonomous revenue authority. Fast forward to today, and social media is buzzing. The big concern is data privacy. People are asking, will this new setup give the government too much power to track how we spend and move our money? So we took the question straight to you, our online community. We ran a quick non-scientific Facebook poll and over 1,200 of you weighed in. The results are overwhelming. 92% said no way to daily transaction tracking. Just 5% were open to it with strong privacy protections, and only 3% gave it a thumbs up. This discussion is only beginning. Stay involved. Belize's business sector is speaking out, and their concerns are aimed squarely at the Belize Tax Service Department. With the department preparing to transition into a semi-autonomous revenue authority, there's a big question hanging in the air. Are the current staff up to the task? Here's the issue. Employees who want to stay on board will need to go through an interview process. That's drawing attention and criticism. If they've been handling tax collection all this time, why the need to requalify? And if they're not already qualified, can they really be trusted with sensitive financial data in this new setup? It's a conversation that's gaining traction, and tonight we're hearing from the president of the Public Service Union.
That is the reality. That is the reality, and that's what we're saying. And it needs to be said, because I believe the director would have also said, well, we had engaged in irresponsible remarks. No, we're holding you accountable. We called you out, and we called out the former Prime Minister and his administration, who appointed somebody who was not trained in tax administration or tax supervision or tax application. You were not trained. You're an IT specialist, and yet you were brought in, created an anomaly where your pay scale is concerned, to amalgamate two tax departments, and then to further complicate that misfit. This administration would have issued, I believe, 2 contracts already. to somebody who was not fit for purpose. And that's a fact. Since they want to speak facts, you don't know what it is like to run a tax department. A bad decision was made. We need to now ask her, okay, you oversee this amalgamation. Why the high rate of turnover in the project execution unit? And if you have a high rate of turnover in your project execution unit, what project did you really execute over the last 5 years then? Where's your staff morale? Your staff morale is on an all-time low. There's a toxic environment. There is no proper reporting. There is no data that is driving this new structural change for SARA. Absolutely no data, just emotions.
Now let's turn to a topic that's sparking serious discussion in public finance: outsourcing under the Semi-Autonomous Revenue Authority. The big question is, how will that process actually unfold? And just as crucial, how will the board ensure those contracts go to individuals who are truly qualified? These aren't merely procedural concerns. They strike at the heart of financial accountability in government spending. Flowers weighed in, and here is his perspective.
Well, one, the minute you take a government department and you put it under a board, then that legislation gives that board full authority to execute. And so there could be further outsourcing of services from BTSD. And like I said, the impact of this will ultimately be felt by the Belizean people, because now, rather than all these revenues, and of course they will use this, they will see that all the revenues will continue to be channeled into the Consolidated Revenue Fund. And while that is good, the reality is we don't know what provision will be in the legislation fit what comes out. And so no doubt in anybody's mind, just on what has been presented, we're expecting the cost to balloon, if not triple. And I'm looking at a triple digit here in terms of running this thing. And if your service out to be able to now accommodate, again, how are boards appointed? They're appointed by the Prime Minister.
It's political appointment.
It's political appointment. So this is your largest revenue generating department.
After the break, Belize Carnival turns 50, a legacy of rhythm and pride. But first, here's the latest weather update from the Belize Met Service.
Introducción de billetes rediseñados. ¿Alterará este rediseño el valor del dólar beliceño? La respuesta es no. El diseño de los billetes no determina su valor. Aunque los nuevos billetes se verán diferentes, su valor sigue siendo exactamente el mismo. De acuerdo con la ley del Banco Central, la moneda de Belice está fijada a $2 beliceños por $1 estadounidense, y eso no ha cambiado. Tengan la seguridad de que ya sea que tengan uno de los billetes actuales o uno nuevo, $1 sigue siendo $1. El valor de su dinero permanece estable, respaldado por la fortaleza de la economía de nuestra nación. Nueva imagen, mismo valor. Para obtener más información, visite www.centralbank.org.bz. Un comunicado del Banco Central de Belice.
the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix, Season 7, every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GBM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix, Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Belize Media.
BTB Accommodation License Renewal 2025 opens August 1st through the online portal. BTB is also having a license renewal clinic countrywide, starting August 15th in Orange Walk, then in Key Cocker, San Pedro, Hopkins, Placencia, Belize City, San Ignacio, Toledo, Corozal, and Belmopan. Remember, to successfully process your renewal at the clinic, managers with portal access must bring updated electronic copies of renewal requirements. Licenses will be ready the same day at the clinic. Accommodations operating beyond October 31st, 2025 without completing renewal process will receive a violation ticket. As stated in Section 12.5 of the Hotels and Tourist Accommodation Act, HTAA, operating without a valid license commits an offense. For more information, please contact our compliance officers at 227-2420 extension pound 290 or email hotels@BelizeTourismBoard.org. Renew your BTB accommodations license through the online portal starting August 1st, 2025, or look out for the renewal clinic near you.
This is where blue innovation meets green ambition and orange creativity thrives. Join us for the Belize Investment Summit 2025, September 3rd to 5th at the Sunset Carib in San Pedro. This is the future of regional integration, and it starts here. Whether you're returning home, expanding regionally, or entering new markets, Belize welcomes you. Why Belize? Why now? Belize Investment Summit 2025, Bridging Markets, Building Resilience. September 3rd to 5th, Sunset Carib, San Pedro. Visit investmentsummit.bz to register and be part of shaping the investment frontier.
We just take the coast out.
Belize is on the move. The Coastal Road is now powered by Digi's ever-expanding 4G LTE Advanced Network. Now you can stream that music, track that storm, or stop to send that file. Digi 4G LTE has got you covered. Digi, leading Belize's digital transformation.
50 years ago, a group of 40 proud Belizeans came together with a dream to bring the streets to life with music, dance, and vibrant costumes. That dream became the very first Carnival Road March, and it's grown into one of the most anticipated celebrations in our cultural calendar. Tonight, we're taking a step back in time to relive those early days through the voices of the pioneers who helped shape Belize's carnival spirit. Because understanding where we started is just as important as celebrating where we are now. News 5's Paul Lopez takes us on a nostalgic journey in this week's edition of Culture Tuesday.
It all started back in 1975, just over a decade after Hurricane Hattie devastated the old capital. In a spirit of revival and patriotism, 40 Belizeans came together with a spark of inspiration to bring back life to the 10th of September celebrations through a vibrant road march. Among them was Sully Arguelles, now 79 years old. Back then, she was in her late 20s and full of energy, helping to shape what would become one of Belize's most beloved traditions, the Carnival Road March.
It was like after the hurricane, the spirit of performing and street dancing had gone to nothing. We weren't parading anymore. as we used to in bunches and just the People's Parade. And Mr. Henry and I, in that committee of 40, decided that we needed something to boost up the morale and bring back the colorful 10th of September that we knew.
So what was the answer to reviving the spirit of the 10th? Simple. They took it to the streets with music, movement, and pure energy. Organized street dancing became the heartbeat of a new tradition, and Belize's Carnival was born.
And that's how we started, with nice street dancing and pretty music. That was the beginning of the generators with music on a truck. Okay. We had it in a little small pickup at that time. We didn't have those big monstrous trucks of today.
At the time, the sole focus of the event was on children's participation. So when Marina Welcome joined the Road March 8 years later with Jump Street Posse, her junior band was able to fit right in.
In those days, Carnival was fun, right? It wasn't about the money. It was the love for the children, keeping the children them off the streets, you know, and have a lot of fun. That was what Carnival was all about. In those days, you didn't have to spend a lot of money. I could remember you make out a garbage bag, coconut leaf, crocus bag, you know. But the design was so creative out of it, right? That the people look forward to see it. And then you start to improve, right? And it gets bigger and better.
According to Arguelles, in those early years, costume designers used vibrant colors to represent the celebratory mood while exuding national pride. She was a strong advocate for conservative costume designs and dance moves during the parade.
My thing was that we have too many eyes looking at these children, and with too much of that, you don't know who is going to be a predator. And my concern was that we had too many predators drinking beer, watching these kids.
They didn't have no rules how to dress the kids or nothing like that, you know, because I think in those days, people wasn't focusing on abusing the kids like now and stuff, right? Until the violence and things start to step in, then the committee got stricter with the dressing and the dancing.
Karen Vernon didn't just watch history unfold, she was a part of it. Back in 1975, when Belize's first Carnival Road March hit the streets, Karen was front and center. Her mother had decided to enter a group in the parade, and Karen, just a young girl at the time, was right there in the spotlight.
I was 13 at the time, and this was exciting. I mean, this is a parade that you actually put on costumes and you dance through the streets. And that first year we were butterflies. I don't remember the name of the group or the team, but we were butterflies, and we were very modestly dressed, and we had black wings, and there were different color circles on the wings. So we portrayed butterflies. And I remember even before we moved off from Courthouse Wharf, our costumes were starting to rip apart. You know, they were sewing and pinning and gluing and putting stuff back together, but we didn't care. You know, we were ready to dance through the streets and have fun.
When Belize's Carnival Road March first hit the streets, it wasn't about trophies or cash prizes. The real driving force, pure love for celebration and national pride. It was built by people who simply wanted to bring joy, unity, and vibrant energy to the community, and they did it with heart, not for the headlines.
I think it was passion, because in those days the price was only $300 and nobody complained, right? We were good.
We did it for the fun, for the celebration of the 10th. We all wanted, I personally wanted a nationalistic spirit. I just have always been that I want to appreciate my flag.
As Marina Welcome perused through an old photo album filled with memories of those early days, she reflects on the role she played in shaping what has evolved into today's Carnival. Her contributions, like those of Arguelles and the Committee of 40, are invaluable. Their legacy will live on through the decades to come. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
Belizeans are showing up and showing out on the international stage at the 2025 Japan Expo. Over the weekend, world leaders traveled to Osaka, Japan to participate in a showcase of cultures and talents from across the globe. A team of talented Belizean delegates wowed the audience with a dazzling display of music, dance, and song. To hear more about the weekend's festivities, we caught up with musician Alex Evans, one of the talented performers who helped bring Belize's spirit to life on the big stage. News 5's Brittany Gordon has the story.
It's a dream gig for any artist, and this year, one Belizean is living it. The Japan Expo, a global showcase of culture, creativity, and innovation, is back, and Belize is on the map. Musician Alex Evans is among the talented few representing our country, bringing the rhythm and spirit of Belize to an international stage.
We had Mr. Ian Yakab on the marimba. We had Josh Arana on the Garifuna drums. We had Emilio Thomas, who is also a prominent Garifuna artist. We had Kokono Boy, the Brockdown Prince of Belize. We had Ernestine Carballo, the soca queen of Belize. We had myself as playing the steel pan, but also kind of playing several different instruments and just, filling in to support the other artists as well. And we had a group of dancers led by Chriselle Gabriel, and the other dancers were Mr. Philip Ramsey and Adana Mendoza. And together we were able to showcase the Maya, Mestizo, Creole, Garifuna cultures, as well as to give a little bit of Carnival.
Each nation was given a national day where the respective delegations showed off the industries that are integral to the nation. The Belize Pavilion focused on three main areas: the blue, green, and orange economies. Evans was selected for the trip to highlight Belize's orange economy, which includes the creative arts. While being able to showcase their talents on such a global stage was an exciting opportunity, Evans shares that one of the best parts of the experience has been connecting with other cultures.
The opportunity to walk around and interact with our brothers and sisters from neighboring Caribbean countries, Latin American countries, and even some of the West African countries. I definitely personally took advantage of having that opportunity to go to the Trinidad and Tobago booth and to play a little bit of steel pan with them. Same thing with Antigua and Barbuda, and to go to some of the West African countries like Guinea and Mali and Burkina Faso, and to just pick up a drum and to converse with people from these other countries that have a shared historical experience and a shared cultural experience, and to communicate in that way. That was definitely one of the highlights for me personally.
The delegation was carefully curated to display the diverse range of ethnicities Belize has to offer. The melting pot of cultures is something that continues to set Belize apart from the rest and deserves to be highlighted on this grand stage.
This experience gave me a lot of perspective, because a lot of the other countries that were here and for their National Day and for their performances and the way that they chose, the things that they chose to represent, they were able to represent their culture in some instances in a very specific way. But for Belize, we are very diverse. So for us to say that we're representing Belizean culture, but to only just put a Garifuna performance on stage, or a Creole performance on stage, or a Maya performance on stage, would not do justice to the thing that I believe is the thing that makes us most powerful, the best thing about us, which is our diversity.
Evans says that this experience has put into perspective just how important it is to understand how beautiful Belize's diversity is and recognize the strength that unity brings. Brittany Gordon for News 5.
When we return, hooked on sharks, Belize tags along for conservation.
May. My house done.
Already?
Hey, the who that?
What's up, bro? This Western Union mom's a little money using DigiWallet. Uncle in the States pays me too. Same app using DigiWallet. Bro, this is too easy. I can do this from anywhere. No lines, no hassle. It's just easy. All right, gotta run, bro. Take it easy.
You must make purchases at any Benny's locations or its entities near you. The more you spend, the more you earn. You also get double the B-Bucks on promotional days. Multiple purchases completed in a single day cannot be combined and will be considered separately. Benny's is committed to offering you competitive prices on all your purchases. No value is added with B-Bucks. To learn more, visit our website at www.bbucks.bz. Remember, loyalty is always rewarding with B-Bucks. Brought to you by Benny's. Quality and savings.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp.
Enjoy free social media data now included in our Flex Choice and Select postpaid plans.
Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Don't miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix, Season 7, every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GBM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix, Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Believe Media.
Sharks often get a bad rap thanks to those teeth and Hollywood thrillers. But here in Belize, they're playing a much bigger role. These ocean giants are helping scientists unlock secrets about marine life, and local fishers are right there with them, diving into a new kind of work that's all about conservation. Tonight, we'll take you 28 miles off the coast of Riversdale, Stan Creek District to Glover's Reef, where a passionate team is tagging sharks, tracking their movements, and helping protect the delicate balance of our underwater world. In collaboration with the Belize Fund for a Sustainable Future, News 5 brings you the story of one family's dedication to shark research and conservation. Here's News Director Isani Cayetano.
When you think of sharks, you probably picture fierce predators. But did you know they play a vital role in keeping our oceans healthy? Sharks are at the top of the marine food chain, and that makes them crucial caretakers of the sea. They help control the populations of other marine animals, which keep things in balance. For example, by keeping prey numbers in check, sharks prevent overgrazing of seagrass beds and coral reefs, two habitats that are essential for ocean life.
They are most often thought of as a top predator, but they fulfill different roles. You know, they're top and mesopredators. And so that means that they help to maintain populations of other fish, of their prey. And what that does is help keep things in balance. So sharks will eat their prey in certain numbers, and so that their prey doesn't become overabundant and then, you know, decimate what their prey eats, right? And then we get this collapse and this imbalance of things.
Did you know Belize is a shark hotspot? With over 40 different species swimming in our waters, it's no wonder marine biologists are so fascinated by our coastline. From vibrant coral reefs to lush seagrass beds and winding mangrove forests, Belize's diverse marine habitats offer the perfect home for these incredible creatures.
Sharks are important for many reasons. They're important to the marine ecosystem to balance the food chain. If there's a sick fish on the reef, they can clean up that fish. They're sort of the garbage truck of the ocean, especially the tiger shark.
We're heading out to sea, 28 miles off the coast of Riversdale in the Stan Creek District, where a small but passionate team is diving into shark research. Hector Martinez and Jessica Quinlan are leading the charge on this expedition to Glover's Reef, a stunning partially submerged atoll that marks the edge of Belize Barrier Reef. It's a chain of islands 28 miles long and 7.5 miles wide, teeming with marine life. Joining them are 3 young seafarers, all family and all second-generation fisherfolk, bringing their deep-rooted knowledge of the sea to the mission. Together, they're helping scientists track the migration patterns of sharks in Belize's southern waters.
With the Belize Fund, the work we've been doing is setting down baited remote underwater video station. They're called BRUVs. The idea behind that, or what we do with that data is they can monitor the shark abundance in Belize. The bigger part of that is part of fin print, and they're sampling in 52 different countries, I think it is. There's probably 10 years of BRUV footage for Glover's Reef. And so they can, over the 10 years, they can monitor when the sharks went up, when they went down, or if they're like staying at a normal amount.
Today, the team is taking a plunge and will descend to a depth of about 70 feet. They gear up, double-check their diving equipment, and slip into the azure waters of the Caribbean Sea. Each diver is given a receiver and, after bobbing on the surface for a few minutes, they begin their descent.
The BRUVs, we set an underwater camera for 1 hour and 30 minutes. They get set and we see sharks, all kind of sharks. We see hammerhead, we see reef sharks, so all types of fish. So that's a very, very good thing.
Sharks aren't just roaming the ocean aimlessly. There's a purpose for their journey. Their migration helps mix up the gene pool, giving populations a healthy boost in diversity. It also lets them find mates, hunt for food, and stay in tune with changes in their environment. In short, ocean travelers are following nature's cues to to keep their species thriving.
My very first trip to Belize was back in 2017, where I began working with the Belize Fisheries Department to roll out a new protocol or monitoring system to monitor catch landings of the shark fishery. So alongside the logbooks that fishers are required to submit, we asked them to remove a specific fin from each shark that they landed, and from that fin we were able to determine, we were building a program that we could determine what species were being landed, how many, and then also calculate what size individuals were being landed.
It's Fernando Castellanos' first time scuba diving in open waters and helping Hector.
He me tell we had a trip for go set out some receivers, and he tell me if you're interested, well, let me know. And I tell her yes, I want to go for get more experience. So this is new to me, and I love the experience.
By studying shark populations and migration patterns in the Caribbean Sea and Belize, researchers can inform conservation efforts, promote ecosystem balance, and support sustainable management practices.
We go out and we tag sharks, right? And Gladden is one of the spots that we tag a bunch of sharks, and they're trying to track the movement of sharks within the Mesoamerican barrier reef. And so you tag the shark, you give the shark a little surgery on the body cavity area, put a little acoustic tag in there, sew it back up, and you release the shark. And then you set these receivers at different spots. You usually set a couple around right where you caught the shark, but then you go set them at random spots, hoping that the shark will swim by there, or another shark that someone else had tagged will swim by there, and the receiver will pick up that tag, because the tag releases a signal, and the receiver will pick that up, and with that we can say, oh, the shark was tagged at Gladden, and someone got it on the receiver up in Isla Mujeres, so it's traveling, and maybe every year it comes at Gladden at this specific time when the snappers are spawning, and so you can track movement.
For members of the Belize Shark Fishers Association, tagging sharks is part of a bigger picture. It's a smart way to earn a living while protecting the ocean. It's a sustainable alternative that helps them manage fish stocks responsibly, all while playing a key role in marine conservation.
So all of this, bro, I think is a very good thing, because you know, I'm a lobster diver, spearfishing, so when you give us jobs like that, it takes a lot of pressure from the lobsters and the fish stock. So then, you know, it's a good thing, and I do it along with my brothers and my father. So, you know, it brings all of us together.
Reporting for News 5, I am Isana Cayetano.
Belize's western forests are under attack, and the threat isn't just environmental, it's criminal. Illegal cattle ranching is creeping deeper into protected areas like the Vaca Forest Reserve and the Chiquibul ecosystem. Experts say it's being driven by cross-border encroachment, organized crime, and a serious lack of enforcement on the ground. News 5's Hippolyta Novello saw it firsthand in Chiquibul back in 2023. Now he's diving into a new report that lays out the scale and impact of this growing crisis. It's a troubling look at how Belize's natural treasures are being chipped away and what's at stake if the trend continues.
A new report by Friends for Conservation and Development, or FCD, reveals that over 3,500 acres of forest in the Vaca Forest Reserve and Chiquibul ecosystem have already been cleared. The ranches cross Belize's protected areas, and many point fingers across the border.
Although we have been, collecting and doing monitoring and enforcement, along with the Belize Defense Force and the police in the areas of Caballo, Valentin, Rio Blanco, Cebada, which are right along the border. The study that was done and that ended up, the research concluded last year in 24. The result shows that the Vaca Forest Reserve, which is 17 kilometers of the border with Guatemala, there is approximately 1,700 acres being used by cattle ranchers.
So that's the Vaca Forest Reserve alone. In a Chiquibul ecosystem, the number is slightly greater.
There is approximately 1,900 acres that we consider to be pasture lands used for cattle ranching. These are purely Guatemalans. What it shows then is that cattle ranching has not been halted, that activity. It is crossing the adjacency zone of 1 kilometer. There are particular hotspot areas that we can clearly see. Valentin in the Caracol area is really one which is targeted. South of Caballo Conservation Post, that's another one. and then we see the guys north of Rio Blanco.
The ranches in the Rio Blanco area are controlled by a Guatemalan family known as De Jimenez, and they've been expanding further into Belizean territory for the past few years. So despite joint patrols to dismantle fences and reclaim land, ranchers often rebuild, and there are bigger risks.
There have been operations along with rangers and the BDF primarily along the area to cut the fences, remove the posts. I mean, that has happened, and I have to thank the BDF over the more recent months that there has been a much more kind of a robust program to do that. But there's so much in terms of fields out there and fences, so much so that Guatemalans, after 2 months, they will return back and put back again a fence. We have realized that even though we have been highlighting cattle ranching, we still have not been that decisive in putting in the interventions to really halt this. It has to be a multi-pronged approach also, like many of these things. But it shows that we still have to do a lot of work. It is rugged terrain, it is difficult to reach, it's difficult to be out in that zone, you know, but that's what it's going to take if we really want to deal with this.
So it's going to take resources, more boots on the ground, more and better equipment, especially communication equipment, and of course, money for the Belize Defense Force and its soldiers. FCD co-manages the Chickabull National Park. It is the BDF that enforces the law. And just recently, Minister of Defense and Border Security Oscar Mira told reporters that the BDF will no longer be neglected.
The Prime Minister has also been very gracious in allowing us to access more funds to ensuring that we buy the equipment and that we have the training that the BDF and the Coast Guard deserves to do their work.
More and better equipped and trained soldiers will be needed. That's because the cattle ranching isn't being done only by poor Guatemalans trying to survive. It is reportedly being orchestrated by Guatemalan drug lords, and it's being called narco cattle ranching.
The study also is able to highlight that there could be nexus within the drug cartels also. We only can go in only to describe in terms of other references in the study that we did. We don't have the pure, research data that can show that, because we are not into that kind of field. That has to be done by someone else. But only looking by what Guatemalans are seeing on their landscape, on their areas like Laguna del Tigre. Laguna del Tigre still have 30,000 heads of cattle right now, and that's within the Maya Biosphere Reserve. They are still also trying to tackle that problem. There, yes, it's directly nexus with drug lords. What they would tell us and what other references tell us is that once you see the trend, it is very possible that could also be the same here.
The environmental toll is severe. Ancient forests are felled for non-native grasses, pushing out native wildlife and destroying biodiversity. The report also calls for stronger patrols, modern surveillance, tougher tracking of cattle trade, and new diplomatic ties with Guatemala. But the question remains, can Belize keep its forests from becoming collateral in a cross-border cattle and narco frontier? Reporting for News 5, I am Hipólito Novello.
The report also calls for advanced research and policy development that would address the ecological and socio-economic impacts of illegal cattle ranching. The government of Belize, in partnership with Brightwater, has officially launched the country's first blue carbon pilot project, a major step in the fight against climate change and a boost for marine conservation. The initiative, led by the Ministry of Blue Economy and Marine Conservation, focuses on Turnef Atoll, one of the Caribbean's most biodiverse marine ecosystems. They are aiming to protect and restore mangroves and seagrass beds that naturally capture carbon, while also supporting local communities and preserving cultural heritage. This pilot reflects our commitment to protecting coastal ecosystems and creating real economic value for our people, said Beverly Wade, CEO of the ministry. The project brings together global experts in marine science, finance, and carbon markets, and includes local partners like the Turnef Atoll Sustainability Association. It's designed to meet international standards for carbon verification and could pave the way for future blue carbon investments across Belize. Brightwater CEO Jesse Stenfenagel emphasized the importance of community involvement and scientific rigor, saying the project will deliver tangible climate impact and measurable biodiversity gains. Finance Minister Christopher Koyi added that the pilot showcases Belize's leadership in using innovative finance to benefit both nature and people. With this launch, Belize continues to build on its reputation as a global leader in marine protection and nature-based climate solutions. Up next, Spirit Airlines launches low-cost flights to Belize.
All right, on the one fun day on, the window open and the light they turn off. It looks like you listen to me, Jamie.
Not only that, I even get a new coffee mug where keep my coffee hot all day.
I'm impressed. You don't look like you're so hard, yes?
Better than that, BL can change my meter to one of their new smart meter. They call it the AMI.
Oh, I hear about it on TV for BL. How do you know?
Yes, man. It don't reach the man better to change it right now. Let's go check it out.
Hey guys, I'm almost done here.
So that when you reach my area,
we're upgrading meters across Belize, house by house, business by business. Always look out for BL logo, uniforms, and IDs. BL will make you know when we're in the area. The EMI meter rollout is a part of BL strategy to modernize our energy services.
You don't need to come in at my house, right?
Come in at your house, boss, only if you got something good for you.
BEL, bringing you a brighter tomorrow.
Oh man, one more scroll and my data is done.
Wait, who said anything about running out? Smart just dropped a more powerful plan that now includes social media data so you can scroll till your fingers cramp.
Enjoy free social media data now included in our Flex Choice and Select postpaid plans.
Visit any Smart showroom to sign up today because connectivity just got even better. Smart, bringing people together.
Dengue and Zika alert. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. The Ministry of Health reminds the public that as we enter the rainy season, be aware of the dangers of dengue, chikungunya, and Zika. These are infectious diseases that are transmitted by the bite of Aedes aegypti and Aedes albopictus mosquitoes. These mosquitoes are most active in early morning and late afternoon. Activities that should be done to prevent dengue and Zika include: avoid having containers that can collect water in your yard. Cover water storage containers such as drums. Change the water in flower pots every 4 or 5 days. These are ideal breeding sites for the mosquito. With the elimination of breeding sites in and around the yard, dengue and Zika can be avoided. Dengue and Zika begin with sudden onset of high fever. Other signs and symptoms include rash, joint pain, eye pain. The public is also encouraged to use mosquito repellent spray or lotion on the body or clothing. Do your part by preventing mosquito breeding. A health and wellness message from your Ministry of Health.
Don't miss the ultimate singing showdown. It's KTV The Remix, Season 7, every Tuesday night at 8, live from the Bliss Center for the Performing Arts. One stage, one voice, one chance to win $10,000. Get your tickets for just $5 at GBM Studios and Coney Drive or 88 Shopping Center on Central American Boulevard. It's music, talent, and entertainment for the whole family. Don't miss it. KTV The Remix Season 7. Tune in, turn up, and sing along every Tuesday night at 8. Only on Greater Belize Media.
Kayo, we have exciting news for you. RFNG Life Insurance is now officially in your town. Now, you can visit our office to pay your life insurance premiums or speak to our dedicated agent, Mayeli, about securing your future with the right coverage.
Hi, my name is Mayeli Hoy, your designated agent here at RFNG Life in the Kayo District. I'm here to help you explore your options, answer your questions, and find the perfect policy for you and your loved ones.
Whether you're looking for life insurance, critical illness coverage, or future saving plans, we've got you covered. Take the first step towards securing a stable and prosperous financial future for you and your family. RFNG Life Insurance, now in Kayo. And don't miss our upcoming health fair on July 19, 2025, happening at the Kayo Welcome Center from 9 a.m. to 3 p.m. Come on out and learn more about how we can support your journey to a healthier and more secure future.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Spirit Airlines is officially touching down in Belize starting November 21st, offering nonstop flights from Fort Lauderdale to Belize City for as low as $85 one way. That's right, affordable. Direct access to the Jewel is now just a few clicks away. The new route runs 3 times a week, Mondays, Fridays, and Saturdays, giving travelers more flexibility whether it's a quick weekend escape, a long overdue family visit, or an extended stay in paradise. And it's not just tourists who are excited. Belizeans living in the U.S., students, workers, families now have a more affordable way to come home. Tourism officials are calling it a major win, especially with Fort Lauderdale being a key international hub. Spirit's offering a range of seating options from budget-friendly to premium, making this route accessible for every kind of traveler. And yes, social media is already buzzing, with Belizeans ready to hit that book now button. There could be some big changes coming for travelers heading to the United States. The U.S. government is looking at tightening visa rules, especially for visitors from countries with high rates of overstaying their visas. So what's on the table is a new proposal from the State Department that would require some travelers applying for business or tourist visas to pay a bond, anywhere from $5,000 to $15,000 US. The exact amount would depend on how risky the consular officers think the traveler is and whether they can afford it. Now, this isn't a brand new idea. It's actually a revised version of a pilot program first floated back in 2020 during the Trump administration. The aim is to encourage visitors to leave the U.S. on time. The bond would be refunded once the traveler leaves the country as scheduled and follows all the rules. But here's the catch. Critics say this could discourage tourism, especially from countries that already struggle with visa approvals. It's important to note that travelers from visa waiver program countries like most of Europe, Japan, and Australia won't be affected by this. But for others, this could be a costly new hurdle just to visit the U.S. A Belizean mother is pleading for urgent help as her 3-year-old daughter faces a medical condition that has left her unable to hear or speak. Little Raquel Quinones was diagnosed on May 29th with a narrowing of both ear canals, a condition confirmed through a CT scan conducted in Chetumal. The scan revealed abnormal tissue growth affecting the bony portion of her ear canal, which now threatens her ability to develop speech without immediate intervention. Doctors have advised that an additional exam in Merida is urgently needed to determine her eligibility for surgery that could restore her hearing by getting a cochlear implant.
Right now, I need help for my baby, and I need the COVID since my baby expenses are high. Right now, she needs one exam. The exam costs 25,000 pesos, and also her consultation expenses. I beg for your help for her. This is process for her implant surgery, and process is expensive since I travel to Merida every month. The 9th of May, go to Merida, and the doctor evaluated her and tell me she needs the surgery for cochlear implant.
And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.